Hey, everybody. I'm just composing a tweet. We'll be right with you.
Yay. Tweet, tweet,
Be a part of the show. We
tweet, tweet, tweet,
are live on
tweet, tweet.
Facebook and YouTube.
Are we?
Should be in a second.
No, I'm just teasing.
YouTube.
I trust them. I'm going to move for some Cheez-Its right now.
Oh, Cheez-Its would be delightful.
Finished off our white cheddar.
You know what the best are the Colby Jack ones though, or the cheddar Jack or whatever.
No,
Jack.
the
What?
original.
No,
I
mean
haven't had original in a while, and I busted open the box of originals today, and those are pretty solid.
the original is solid, but if you want that extra zing, you got to go.
The
with that.
other one, the other flavors are too
Flavorful,
too dusty.
Oh,
Hey,
I get
the white cheddar, man.
They are very dusty.
You're 100% right. That's a good take.
No.
Yeah.
That is a good take. I wear the white cheddar everywhere, but I wear them proudly. And then, a half hour later, I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, a little extra.
You still have it all over.
That's how you get the COVID.
Yeah, exactly. All my guests at the Magic for Less, if your quote had a little white cheddar, coating on it, my apologies. It was on the keyboard. I'm just saying.
Sorry.
You got to do something to get through this past week, man. That was powered by Coke Zero and white cheddar Cheetos.
Oh man,
Or not
yeah.
Cheetos,
Yeah,
Cheetos.
right.
There was never more coffee made.
Oh my God. You should see my soda, the trash can. It's just Coke Zero can, Coke Zero can, Coke Zero can. Because I worked at the kitchen table most of the time. Just because I wanted to be able to see my family last week. So, hey, Rhonda Lee. Hey, Alfred. Okay, let's do this. We got to answer those questions. And here we go. 2103.
Yes.
Welcome to episode 2103 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you are having a great week. And if you are in most places of the United States of America, you're staying inside because I'm telling you what, when did the United States turn into the Sahara Desert? It is so hot in St. Louis. As we're recording this podcast right now, I'll just keep giving you the updates because it's right here on my taskbar. Just in case I were to disappear, it is 99 degrees on the other side of our podcast wall here in beautiful St. Peters, Missouri. Heat index of 109 currently. So we are trying to keep everything cool. I'm down in the Be Our Guest Podcast studios, which is in the basement here, which is very nice at this point. So wherever you are, and I know other people are like, you know what? I live in Phoenix. That's called midnight, so hey, just have mercy because we broke a record today, so we're excited about that. I'm a weather guy. We have some awesome weather folks that work for the weather service in our audience. I've spoken with Greg. We've had emails back and forth. He loves that I love weather, and I love that he works for the weather service, so he gets it. And I know we have a lot of other fans out there too, so it's hot. Stay cool, hydrate, and take the show with you. So today we're answering your listener questions. Joining me today from Hot Atlanta, see what we did there.
Yeah.
We have Ricky from the mouseforless.com. What's up, Ricky?
Yeah, it's hot. So yeah, it's definitely very, very, very warm here. I went and took Daisy for a walk before recording, and I was like, "Come on, Daisy, let's go. Let's go back inside. It's way too hot to be out here." So it is definitely summertime in the US. That is for sure. It is hitting hard. I feel like just now. I feel like the switch just went. I was like, boom. Heat.
Right. Because they were saying just on the weather here in St. Louis, like we were below normal for temperatures. Yeah. And then within like 48 hours, boom, triple digits. Like what happened?
There was something major. Yeah, exactly. So it's just summertime.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
I saw that and I was like, okay, because I've had the top down on the Jeep for a while, but I was like, okay, it's time to take the doors off the Jeep because it's officially summer. I keep them off for the whole summer, but I got to wait till that perfect time. Put the pegs on.
Do you have a perfect day? Like, is there a perfect...
See, I missed it because you got to watch it because now my Jeep does have air conditioning. Like right now, I should have the top up, doors on. Because after because I got to have Taco Bell when I edit, right? So after the show, when I drive to Taco Bell with Riley in the back seat there riding shotgun, we're gonna be smoking in that drive-thru. I need AC, and I'm not gonna have anything. So
does Riley sit good for you in the back while you're driving?
Oh yeah, she jumps in. No, let's go, Riley. Want to go for a ride in the Jeep?
And she doesn't try to escape out the Jeep when you're stopped or anything?
No, she just rides back there.
Oh,
everybody around here knows her. The guy at Taco Bell gives her a treat every time. The sausages. And the thing is, here's a funny story. Then we'll get right to the show and get Pam in here. But funny thing is, I went to Target and I did the mobile order for my Coke Zeros, which I do about once a week. And we go pick them up. Riley's in the back seat. They always love seeing her when they pick them up there in the little slot, the car parking spot where they bring them out. Well, I backed into the garage to make it easier to take the 4 Coke Zero boxes to put on the rack in our garage. Well, the problem was when I backed in the Jeep, now the door, she always gets in on the passenger side to jump in. And so now the passenger side was on the other side of the Jeep. So when we went to Taco Bell later that night, she would not get in the Jeep because the driver's side seat does not move. So we had this whole discussion. I'm like, Riley, I backed in. This is the passenger side, but it is now on the other side of the Jeep because I backed in. She just kept looking at me like, I'm not getting it. I'm like, Riley, dude, it's backed in. Like, this is the passenger side. It's on the other side right now. I had to explain this to a dog.
That's all right. We've all been there. I've definitely explained some things to Daisy.
I was this close from backing the Jeep out and was pulling it in, head in, just so we could go to Taco Bell.
That's all right. We took her to the park yesterday, and we got halfway through, and Brian and I decided we wanted ice cream because it was hot. And we sat and had ice cream, and she just immediately jumped on my lap and laid there. And she's like, "No, I'm done. I'm not walking anywhere else. We are good. Like it's done."
Ellie's done that to me too. All right. Hey, let's go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with the coder, the magic for less travel, Pam Forrester. Pam, is it hot? Is it too hot there? Because we talk about the cold and we do damp and the just dreary weather of Pittsburgh. I mean, are you getting some of that good weather? Or is it hot there too?
We do. It is hot here. We actually had a beautiful, beautiful weekend, so I can't complain about any of that. But yeah, it gets really hot here in Pittsburgh, and especially during the summer months when people are like, "Are you going to Walt Disney World?" I'm going, "Yeah." It's like 91 here and it's like 93 in Orlando. Like there's really no difference, and the humidity here is just as bad. So at least when I go to Walt Disney World or to Universal in the summer, I have something exciting to be outside for. And here it's like no, thank you. So
I'm looking outside and I do not see Stormalong Bay.
No, right? I mean, I will not lie and say there aren't times when I just sit out there and sort of bake and read in the sun anyways, even though there's not a nice pool to sit by, but it doesn't make it very fun or exciting.
And I will say I vacationed with you guys many, many times in July, Walt Disney World. And many times actually it's hotter here in St. Louis with the humidity than it is in Florida because it's more intense, like at the dead center of the country. A lot of times we get no sea breeze, but we are all three experts at staying out of the heat. We're either in a swimming pool, we find lots of air conditioning, and we are only in the parks early in the morning and later in the evening.
It's true. And it's summer vacation, people. You have to do something for summer vacation, even when it's hot. I mean, I just can you imagine looking back on your childhood and not having like this fun summer vacation sort of memories? I mean, that's what it's all about.
I will say, so the other night, I've been doing this like for the last month, right? At dinner every night, I always look at the forecast for Anaheim. And then I also look at the distance between the driving directions between Anaheim and Dodger Stadium for the current, like how long it's going to take to get there by car. It's usually about an hour with traffic. But I look at the forecast and it's always like, 85 and then like 70 in the evening. I'm like, God, this is like a cheat code for the summer. Like, is this right? I mean, like, are we going to be on vacation where it's not going to be humid? It's not going to be 100 degrees. I mean,
just remember, it could be a little chilly at night, even though it's a 70. It could still be chilly because I've been there in the middle of July and kind of been freezing, and I had to buy a hoodie. So just saying.
I'll bring the North Face if I have to, but I mean, cheat code for the summer. It looks like. I mean, this is not going to be fair. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, speaking of Disneyland, Tony is in the live chat. Says, "Hey guys, Disneyland on Thursday, so have fun tomorrow as the show comes out." On the radar is the corn dog from the Little Red Wagon.
Good job.
Looks like all right.
Yes, that's the one.
I go right. Is that the one you can mobile order? Is that the mobile order?
Yes. Yeah, you can mobile order, but don't forget to do barbecue Bengal too. Bengal barbecue, which you can mobile order as well. Yeah, you have to do both. Meat skewers and bacon wrapped asparagus. Say more.
I don't even know about asparagus, but bacon wrap, you have me.
You're like, it's good. If it's wrapped in bacon, I'm here for it. I don't care if it's green. I'm good. Let's go.
I'm gonna go up there and be like, can you just bacon wrap some bacon? And see what they say. Be more my style. I'm from Missouri. All right, Faison has a question here. One of our good friends of the show. Hey, Mike and crew, I love this. He says random listener question, and this is random.
Okay.
Got a question that I don't think I've heard been asked yet. How do people with those giant balloons ride rides? I know there are lockers at the front of the parks, but what happens when you're in the back of the park? Is there a balloon nanny? I can't be the only one thinking about this, am I? Thank you. Faison's out in Seattle, where it's probably not a million degrees.
No.
It's right, just a little rainy. So
No.
I actually had a listener do a trip report with us. I think it was about a month ago, maybe about 6 weeks ago. And she spoke about this, that there actually she was talking about an Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
There actually is at the front of the park a balloon nanny. There is somebody who will watch your big balloon.
There you go. There's that. I wasn't at Animal Kingdom and I didn't have like a giant balloon, but I remember one, like the giant Mickey ones, but I remember one time I got a balloon for my birthday from some restaurant. I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, I'm keeping my balloon. So I was walking around the park and I really hadn't thought about the fact that, when I got on rides, I was like, oh yeah, what do you do with it? So at least at the Magic Kingdom, which is where I had the balloon, and I'm sure that at most of the other parks, what they do is they will take, the cast member will grab it from you at the front of the ride, and then they will tie it to usually a pole right, there at the front of the ride.
Seen you do that.
Yeah, that's what they did for me. They tied it to the pole at the front of the ride, and then I rode the ride. And then when I got off, I went back to the cast member. Was like, "I'd like my balloon," and then they give it back to me. So that was my experience. I mean, like I said, it wasn't the big Mickey balloons, but it was just a regular balloon. But that's how it happened for me. I assume it probably happens very similarly for other people. Of course, if you have like a stroller or something like that, that's usually tied on the stroller. But if you're just walking around with a balloon on your arm like I was, like a 5-year-old, which is totally what I did, they will tie it onto one of the poles that's right there in front of them.
What ride was that?
I know I did it on Space Mountain. So, and a few others too.
I was thinking about Space Mountain because you don't come out at the same place where you go in.
Yeah, but the entrance was right
I guess it kind
there.
of is.
So
it kind of pretends like it's not the same place. But.
Yeah. So, and yes, of course, Jocelyn says you need a stroller to tie the balloon to, and I mean, there's that.
That's what you can tell your kids too when they get older. And
What?
be like, oh, we have to have a stroller to tie the balloon.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
No, you can't get that. What is it? $18 balloon.
That's
Or
what I was
whatever
gonna
it is.
ask. I have no idea how much those balloons are. Are they like 15, 18 bucks?
They're ridiculously expensive. Yeah.
My kid would never have one of those balloons. And if you get a balloon, God bless you. And I've heard actually people, because you can't take them on the planes, like I've heard that people will, like on their last day out, they'll gift them to another family coming in. That's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah. So if anybody wants to gift me a balloon while we're there, I'll gladly take it from you. Yeah.
I mean, because they're so cool. Okay, here's the thing.
Their balloons are really cool.
I'm way too cheap to buy a Mickey balloon. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I could spend $18 on a Mickey balloon. It'd have to be for a really good reason.
That's just another thing you got to babysit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Imagining. Like, that's just another thing. Because I did remember it. I don't know if you guys remember this. Our podcast is almost 15 years old. And when Mallory was a baby, I went down for Marathon. I mean, she was a baby. This is probably the first time I went after she was born. So she was probably 3 months old or something. She didn't know what was going on. She was an infant. She had no clue what was going on. And this was back when I was scared to fly. So I drove down, ran a race, came back. Okay, 1,000 miles each way, mind you. I drove in a Jeep, and I bought her one of those balloons that, because remember those, now they weren't as fancy because it was like in 2008. So, but it was like a pink balloon that was just a Mickey head. But they had those, like, it had like a big plastic hard shell on the outside, right? Like a clear shell that like protected it. That thing beat me from Orlando all the way back to St. Louis. Every time I had to change lanes, I'm like boom, 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 boom in the Jeep the whole way home. And then I got her home and we tied it to her like little bouncy seat. But I mean, it was $18 back then. I guarantee you that, because I would not have paid that.
No, yeah,
I mean,
they're
maybe I would. I mean, it's my girl, but
yeah.
Whew. Anyway, that's balloon talk 101 for you. Happy Wednesday.
Right, exactly.
Next question is from Jennifer Weiss. Says, hey, Mike, Pam, and Ricky. My husband, who's an avid runner, just expressed interest in running the Disney Marathon in January. Of course, it's already sold out. But is it really? Is there any way to still register? Thanks for the advice and the podcast, Jen. Well, unfortunately, yes, the marathon and all the distances for marathon weekend at this point are really, sold out with Run Disney. However, you can look around it. It's some of the charities because there are bibs that you can get with some fundraising, requirements there, but those are really hard to get as well this year. There's a high demand for 2023. However, we have had lizards that have gotten bibs in the last month through charities, especially Give Kids the World. So just look around and go to rundisney.com, check out some of the charities on that site, and maybe you'll get lucky. Who knows? So we'd like to see you down there. All right, next question from Laura in the live chat. She says, hey, y'all, when I take my picky eater to Sanaa, will they give him a steak without all the extravagant seasoning? What do you say, Pam, to that?
So if it is a sauce, typically they'll be able to put that on the side. If they offer that protein or whatever it is and say it comes with a sauce, the only time that they're really not able to do it is, let's say, if it's like marinated and or it has a rub on it. Sometimes they don't have that available without, but typically there's something that they can work with to get you something to eat. They're very experienced at dealing with picky eaters, let's just say. This isn't their first rodeo.
No.
And they usually have some stuff there to help make it work.
Yeah. And never hurts to ask and just, say, hey, look, we like this, but could you go my wife does that at our place called B Halls that we go sometimes because she gets this blackened chicken sandwich, but I mean, they just pour it onto that thing. And I mean, I've had it at the leftovers and I'm like, I think it puts you in the emergency room. So we now just thought like, hey man, look, you don't got to kill us. Like just a little. I mean, I know it's a blackened chicken sandwich, but man, come on now, easy. So yeah, they'll take care of you. All right. Christopher's got a question here in the live chat. No, actually in the inbox says, hey, Mike, good evening and greetings from Texas. I hope you're doing well. First time emailer, but long time listener. Love the podcast. First of all, go Cards, he says. I grew up in Branson and am a diehard Cardinals fan. Even planning to attend a couple games against the Reds for July 15th and the 16th for Yachty's, Alberts, and Wayno's, maybe last season. That's right. Wayno might play again. He's favorite Cardinal of all time, number 50, Uncle Charlie. Second, I was listening to the listener questions episode today and wanted to provide some additional insight regarding the Savor the Savannah tour. Remember we had that her friend with seeing the giraffes?
Yes. The giraffe
podcast there for a minute. It was great. We returned from a trip over Memorial Day weekend and we did the Savor the Savannah tour on May 26th. The proximity and interaction with the giraffes was amazing. We were within 5 to 6 feet and got to interact with the animal keeper, Kelly, regarding the care. Kelly, let me try that again. We were within 5 to 6 feet and got to interact with the animal keeper, Kelly, regarding the care of the giraffe. Could be a great idea for that listener. I agree.
Oh, that's good.
I think that's a great idea. And actually, Bob Dankeys did it this past weekend too. I saw on Twitter. He said he really enjoyed it too. He's always at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I think he goes to Animal Kingdom Lodge as much as I go to Taco Bell.
Nice.
It's like all the time. We stayed at the Yacht Club, got to do a VIP tour and met up with our 9-year-old daughter's best friend and her family. Truly a memorable trip. Lastly, we're going to be in Disneyland the same week you're going to be there. Prior to the pandemic, we established an annual, only 2 years worth, ritual of trips to Disneyland for the 4th of July and are excited to finally return. Hope to get to see you there, and the Cardinals will be in first place, though it's not looking good tonight against the Rays. We're not going to talk about this series against the Rays. It didn't happen. We got swept. You guys have a great weekend. Sincerely, Chris, down in Texas. That's great. I love when listeners, email in and give us a little background on them, but also feedback from their trips are going to help others. So Pam, I think the Savor the Savannah tour, that is exactly what this listener needs for their friend, right?
I agree. Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic match for them. And I think that's the thing that so many of us, I think when we're planning our Disney vacation, we know we've got the package and the tickets locked in, and that's part of the planning process. But there are all these other things that can really enhance your vacation. And I completely understand they're at an additional expense, right? We all know this. They're add-ons, if you will. But it's those kind of add-ons that sort of take it from a really great vacation to a really spectacular vacation. And they're not necessary, but if you want to take a deeper dive into some of these things, or you just want to see things that most people aren't going to see throughout the course of their typical vacation, definitely consider one of these tours. The cast that participate in them are fantastic.
And what I noticed is when you do something like that, then when you get home and like 6 months later, it's always like, that's the trip where we did the Savor the Savannah tour. You know, it's like that's kind of the marker for that trip. It's not like, oh, that was the Memorial Day weekend 2022 trip. That was the, we did the Savor the Savannah tour on that trip. Or, that's always like kind of the landmark for that. That's kind of
100%. Yes.
All right. And also, we do hope to see you out at Disneyland. It's going to be fun. So Scott and I are going to be there with our families at the same time. So approach at your own risk.
Right.
No, come up, selfies all around, baby. You got to get selfies. And if you have a snack in your hand, it'll be even better. Churros for selfies. It'll be fun. And Cardinals gear, of course. All right. Katie's got a question here in the live chat. Here's a question from listener Katie in the chat. She actually put that there. So I didn't have to, I just read it. She read my first line there. We'll be taking advantage of extended evening hours at Epcot in August. I'm excited to try the 6:00 drop of Cosmic Rewind. However, we have Space 220 lounge reservations at 5:40. How will it go trying for a boarding pass in space? In space. Okay. Or should I take the elevator down at 6:00 to make sure it will happen? Any ideas? Thanks for being awesome, Katie. I don't know. It depends on your cellular plan. Like,
yes.
Yes.
Do you have roaming in space?
I added the space roaming last time, so it did work.
Like, I tell people when you leave on that cruise ship, man, make sure you do not have your data plan turned on.
Right?
It's expensive. When you get on that space, we haven't said that on the podcast. We got to be careful. When you get on that space elevator, man, turn off roaming. Just kidding. I don't know.
For sure.
I think you're going to be okay. I don't know. I think Disney's got a plan worked out with NASA.
Yeah, there we go.
I think to try it, like once you're in there, see how your signal actually is. And if it's not good, then go back down. It's hard to know though, because I will tell you, in the past couple of years, I have changed cellular providers.
Right.
And me and Steve and Hannah each have a different provider. So at different points in time, each of us will have different connectivity. Yes.
That's so crazy.
It's so crazy. You think like we have, it's 2022. We have all the cell service thing and all the Wi-Fi like under control here, right?
Nope.
No, not so much.
No.
Not so much.
And if, worst case, you just, hold your hand up like an antenna.
Right. Touch a piece of tinfoil.
Exactly. All right, Dennis, speaking of Texas, our good friend down in Texas, Cardinals fan and Blues fan, says my family and I can't see it because it's under the thing. We'll be cruising on the Wish in December. I'm sure it says hi.
Yes.
My plan is to fly into Orlando the day before.
Nice done.
Thank you. Because Scott did not do this on his cruise, and he's like, "Oh, that one was coming." I'm like, "Shut up!" He booked one of those restricted guarantee fares.
Yes,
like, dude. If you missed the cruise, you're my best friend, dude. I told you. Like, sorry. Like,
you're gonna get told.
Not only did he book 72 hours out, he flew in the day of. Talk about
that's scary.
Risking life and limb, but it all worked out. I'm just saying, don't do it. Even though it worked out, don't do it. Okay, anyway, back to Dennis. My plan is to fly into Orlando the day before, and I've been considering staying on property for the night before, driving to Port Canaveral the next day. That's exactly what I always do. I stay on property the night before my cruise. Question: is it worth getting a deluxe resort for just the one night, or would it make sense to get a moderate and maybe hang out at Disney Springs that evening? Okay, so night before cruise, where are you staying? Are you going to stay at a deluxe and maybe beach, yacht, hang out at Stormalong Bay, Animal Kingdom Lodge? You could have some really good meals, see the animals, think about all the stuff you could do at a deluxe, or moderate, save a little money, but also you could go to Disney Springs and really do it up, shopping, dining. There's a lot of live entertainment over there. Ricky, what would you do in that case? Good question.
It is a good question. And I'm relatively cheap. So I know, right? I probably would do the moderate, go to Disney Springs. Unless you can just get a ridiculously awesome deal at a deluxe resort for the one night. I think I'm going to say moderate. And you know what? Here, stay at Grandestino, stay at Coronado. It feels like a deluxe in a way, and then go hang out over at Disney Springs. It's like two birds with one stone. Do I have the right answer? Yes. Okay, good. I have the right answer.
You just won. In my opinion, and I will tell why in just a second. But Pam, give your thoughts on Dennis's situation here.
So I was thinking about this. One of the things I would do is if you have not stayed at each of the Disney resorts, choose one that you haven't stayed at.
Yes.
Because doing that for one night is really a great way to sort of taste it, right? And see if you want to experience a longer stay there. The other thing is to, for me, it's also a great way to test out a resort that you normally wouldn't stay at just because of price. Maybe if it's price prohibitive, and typically you wouldn't spend that, you're only going to be spending one night there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a great time to try that out too. You know what I'm going to choose? I'm going to choose a deluxe that I haven't stayed at in a while because I really want to get into that relaxation mode, and I'm going to do it there. And I'm going to try to really experience everything that resort has to, has in terms of recreation and the pool and the restaurants before we go on the cruise.
True.
See, that's a good point. That's a good point. Here's what I was thinking. Now, hear me out here, because again, I am on the cheaper side here. So I was even thinking like a Pop Century, but he didn't even ask about values. But I'm bringing this into the conversation. But this is where I think Ricky wins, because I think this is a great compromise.
Yes.
Coronado is a moderate. It's got a deluxe feel. It's got on-site dining. It's got a
Mm-hmm.
great pool bar over at the dig site.
Mm-hmm.
You could just stay there, and you could go to Cafe Rick's. I know that Dennis is a sports fan. There's sports going on there. It's got probably the nicest sports bar at this point on property. There's plenty to do for that one night right there. Just hanging out. You go out to Three Bridges and have something to eat. But here's the thing, like when I'm going on a cruise, and Scott got me the other day, because like when he was going on his cruise, on the way in, he went to the Grand Floridian or the Polynesian. I was watching him on Find My Friends. And so, because they couldn't get on to like 2, that was because he booked at the last minute. So his port arrival time was like 2:00. So he went and had like a great breakfast. I think it was at the Polynesian Kona. And I'm like, dude, when I'm going on a cruise, all that food is going to be included. Fancy meals, right? Not fancy stateroom. I'm staying at Pop Century because I'm getting all that stuff here for the next 5-6 nights or whatever. I'm getting nice meals, nice accommodations, entertainment. So I go a little bit cheap right before that, and I might just go to Disney Springs. But if I go to Disney Springs, instead of this time doing the boathouse, I'm going kind of the opposite of what everybody's saying. I might go and have dinner at Deluxe Burger or Chicken Guy, or something that's on the cheap side, but good, because I'm going to be eating it up over the next, however long the cruise is. And I'm having steaks and seafood and fancy stuff. I don't know, just counterpoint. But I think Grandestino is the counter, kind of the compromise there. But Pam's exactly right. I mean, if you want to kick it off, get in the right state of mind, I mean, a deluxe for one night that you've never stayed at is a nice way to kind of make it a land sea total escape.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to save a little dough, Pop Century. No, just kidding. Just go to Coronado. Okay. Next question's from Jeremy in the inbox. I have really enjoyed your gluten-friendly food reviews, which we talked about some of those on the Monday show. Some of our guests have talked about those, because I am not I just eat whatever, so I don't have a lot of background on that. But here it continues. We are going on a Walt Disney World trip at the end of June. We're going to be visiting all 4 theme parks, Disney Springs, and stops on the Skyliner. My oldest son is 14 and has celiac disease. He must stick to a strict gluten-free diet. What are some gluten-free meals, snacks that we should not miss? We already have the gluten-free churros on our list. Thanks, Jeremy. So now I don't know about this, but I was thinking maybe we could point to some resources if we don't know. So Pam, do you know like places we could go for that, or, kind of point maybe Jeremy in the right direction, because this would really help out his son?
I mean, I think that there are places on the Disney site itself where they talk about it, and also on the parks blog. But I think the other thing is, there are some great locations that sort of specialize in this, and many of the Disney restaurants do. So you just have to have that conversation. But if you go down into Disney Springs, if you go to Aaron McKenna's Bakery, they used to be known for their cupcakes. they were named a different name at that point in time. I think there was some kind of copyright issue there. But anyways, they have almost everything there is going to be gluten-free at that point. The other thing is, if you are going to be attending during a time when there's some kind of festival at Epcot, which seems to be almost all the time, right?
Yeah, it's almost. Can you believe it's almost Food and Wine Festival time?
Yeah, right. It is.
It starts this summer. It starts this summer.
2 weeks.
Right. I know. So if you're going to be attending then, if you get one of the little books or look in your Disney app, they actually identify the different things at the booths that are gluten-free. So you're going to want to try those because those are awesome.
What do you have, Ricky? I mean, do you have any other suggestions as far as like, because you're always on the blogs and stuff like that? Reviews?
We do have a blogger on the Mouse for Less who does tend to eat gluten-free. So her articles are always kind of labeled as gluten-free dining. So that might be a place to start on the Mouse for Less.
What's her name?
Of course you asked me that, and I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to double check, and you're going to hate that I'm clicking around.
I can come back after the next question because we have a great debate kind of question next.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Come back to me.
We'll come back to that. So don't let me forget. Okay. We talked about this one kind of on Sunday Night's Live call-in show. So if you were a part of that, I brought this up because Michael left this thought in my inbox. I want to ask you too. And this is just purely a speculation opinion question, which I've been thinking about ever since I got this email 3 days ago. Michael says, "Hey, Mike, hope you're well. Thought of a good topic to ponder." This is like a beard stroking question. Like none of us have beards. No. I'm baby faced as they come. But if we did, here we go. We haven't done Guardians yet. So Michael says that. But looking into the future, when Tron opens, will Guardians or Tron be the better attraction? Lots of theoretical opinions here. So we talked about this on the live show. And what I proposed was 5 years from now. So in 2027, summer of 2027, somebody comes up to you and says, okay, both attractions have been open for a little while now. They're just attractions at this point. They're roller coasters. One's the Magic Kingdom, one's at Epcot. Which one is the better attraction? Of course, we don't know Tron, but we kind of do because it's already an existing attraction overseas. We've been on Cosmic Rewind. Pam, what do you think? Like 5 years from now, what will the majority opinion be? Cosmic Rewind or Tron for the better attraction?
I'm going to say Cosmic Rewind, and I'll sort of give a couple of reasons why. First of all, I think that so much of Disney is about storytelling, right? And so many of us have really connected with those Guardians of the Galaxy characters. They really do. It's the attraction made you think you need to watch the movies, Mike. So right. That isn't an attestation to how much that storytelling is a part of the attraction. Whatnot. That's not to say that Tron doesn't also have a story as well. I was around when the original Tron came out, and then subsequent Trons from that point of view. And I saw the movies, and I will say I just don't have that warm, fuzzy kind of feeling about Tron that I do about that. I mean, you're not going to hug a Tron-sicle, right?
No,
but you're going to hug Rocket. So anyway, there's just that aspect to it. I think in so much of Guardians of the Galaxy is characters that we all know and love. And that will continue because I don't see the Avengers going anywhere anytime soon. In terms of those movies are going to be classic. And there were so many stories, and they continue to be part of the Marvel universe and all of that. So.
Yeah, I think Tron, best case, I think Tron could be the better ride, but I think Cosmic Rewind could be the better attraction. Stroke your beard, everybody. Think about that thought right there. Tron could be the better ride. Cosmic Rewind could be the better attraction. Ricky, give your thoughts. I'm not even going to expand on that. I'm letting you stroke your beard as you think about that.
I know. I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. That's what Pam said. It's about story.
Yeah, I agree with Pam. I think that Cosmic Rewind will be better. I think partially because of what she said, people are definitely feel a little more warm and fuzzy over, the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. I haven't ever seen Tron. I have seen Guardians. So, there's that. I feel also like, I don't know. I feel like the storyline behind both, I feel like Guardians has a little bit better of a story. And Guardians technically has the newer technology, if that's how you want to look at it, because Tron is a clone of an attraction that was built for another park. So that attraction was conceived a while ago at this point, and Guardians is somewhat newer as far as when it was conceived. So I honestly think Guardians is the better attraction. Just a hunch. I think Guardians will be the better one. Yeah,
I agree. I think it will be. I think it's got more of it's going to be more rich. I think, again, we don't know until we do Tron. I think Tron's going to be.
Oh, I'm excited to ride Tron. Don't get me wrong.
Fun. I mean, dude, I want to get on that light cycle.
It kind of freaks me out too, but it's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because they had those those light cycles you could sit on in Tomorrowland back at like one marathon weekend. They were out there, and like Scott and I got on and we did pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I did it too. Yeah.
I'm like pumped for that. Like that's gonna be crazy. Like riding one of those things down a roller coaster track. Are you kidding me? Like that's gonna be like nuts. I mean, I'm pumped for that. But I think overall, as far as like experience and rich storytelling, overall, Cosmic Rewind, I think will have it. But and Michelle says she wrote it in Shanghai. She's in the live chat with us. That was incredible, which I'm guaranteed.
Oh, I guarantee it'll be incredible.
I think it could be the better ride.
Yes.
I just don't know if it could be the better, like, immersive whole experience. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But the point of this whole thing was we decided on Sunday night, the 80s were so awesome. Everything has to be based on the 80s. Even Cosmic Rewind's music has to be from the 80s. I mean, Tron's 80s movie. Like, if it's not from the 80s, forget it.
There you go.
From the 80s. Like, okay, Rhonda Lee's got a question, and God bless Rhonda Lee. She's always in our live chat. So if she ever has a question, it comes right to the top every time. Rhonda Lee up in Canada. She says, since Splash Mountain is my favorite ride, and she spells it with a U, which I think is so awesome. She says, what are the chances it'll be open in early January 2023 so I can ride it during marathon weekend? Oh no, Rhonda Lee, I'm worried for you, because the problem is, I don't think it has anything to do with refurb, but during marathon weekend, a lot of times Splash Mountain's down for just because that's when they just kind of do the normal refurb because it's cold and it's January. Oh no. And Rhonda Lee's from Canada, so she's probably like, oh, it's warm, Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not cold for you, but it's cold.
Right.
It's cold for the Floridians in January. So yeah, I don't know. If you had to give it odds, I would say 25% maybe.
Oh, I would say, gosh, it just depends. It really is going to depend on when we think they're going to start with the.
I know.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm like, it could be down for two reasons. It could be down because it's just down for its annual refurb,
that's what I'm saying. Like, typically over the past decade, a lot of times,
it is down a lot in January.
It's drained. A lot of times, it's drained over marathon week.
But you add in the fact that it is changing to Princess and the Frog, and I could see them shutting it down in January just, for that for both reasons, because they need to refurb it and they're changing it to Princess and the Frog. So like, I don't know. I was going 50. I was going 50, but I don't know. The more I think about it, there's a really good chance they may keep it open through marathon weekend and then shut it down after that, is kind of what I'm thinking. Potential. You don't think so? Okay. They're gonna have it open through Christmas. I can guarantee, more than likely. If they're gonna stop.
I'm sorry.
If they're gonna have it open still as Splash Mountain, it will be open through Christmas.
It will be. That doesn't have good. She's coming for marathon weekend. She's not coming for Christmas.
I know that, but marathon weekend is right there when there's still, Christmas decorations are still up for marathon weekend. So that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times they will bleed over a lot of the stuff from Christmas to that point. So that's why I'm like, she might be okay. That's why I was kind of guessing 50-50. I think if she was going later in January, I think her chances would be more 25. But I think 50-50 is probably where we're at with this. Odds makers, right?
It is. Yeah, maybe we'll play that on Friday. Let's do that.
Oh, no.
We've been playing there forever. I love those shows. Maybe we'll do that. But I'm sorry, Rhonda Lee. Yeah, she says you can handle 25 to 50% chance. So they, Rhonda Lee, I'd buy you a lightning lane if I could for you because I love you. But if it's open, I'll do everything I can for you. But I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about this yet. But maybe it'll be open and we can ride that sucker when we're down there for marathon weekend. So let's hope it happens. All right, last question of the day comes from Allie. It's in the inbox and it says Halloween party and extra magic hours. It's almost that time. Disneyland today announced all their Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
Very
cool.
Boogie Oogie. Like you just can't do it no more. Speaking of that's 70s.
Like
boogie no more. Boogie. Okay. Hey BOGP, I am going to Disney. Actually, we're going to Disney, she says, for fall break. The first week of October. We have 2 kids, they're 8 and 6. This will be our first split stay. We're at the Contemporary for 5 nights, then Port Orleans Riverside for 2. Here's my dilemma. She has 3 letters. A, we want to take advantage of nighttime extra magic hours that our deluxe stay will give us. Do you think the current schedule of Epcot magic hours on Mondays and Magic Kingdom on Wednesdays will continue into the fall? We currently have park pass reservations for those days now. P.S. I really wish they'd do away with those reservations. Miss the spontaneity of the trip. Don't get me started on Genie Plus. Okay, Allie, we're not. Okay, thank you for letting us know. We appreciate that. I agree with a lot of those things. So we have those hours at this point, because this came in a little bit ago, a few days ago. They're through August at this point. I mean, we just don't know if they'll stay the same or not. Ricky, what would you, because you look at this and publish this stuff, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they change. I mean, they started one way and didn't they change, if I remember right? Do you guys remember?
There was like a period of time where I think maybe they were different or they tried something out.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure.
So, I mean, I say that it's probably a decent chance, and you should be hopefully, like, when they finally announce the dates, if they, you'll still be able to change if you need to, like, change your reservations. So I hope.
Yeah, I agree. Like, most of the time, by the time we have park hours, there's usually availability at most of the parks for that day. And you're looking at Epcot and Magic Kingdom. Epcot almost never runs out of park availability. And Hollywood Studios is usually the one that goes first. So let's hope that there will be some.
All right. She says, B, additionally, we want to get tickets for the Halloween party. She says, by the time you do a listener question show, I've probably already purchased them because I have no chill. That's awesome. I'm worried about purchasing tickets, then magic hours being shuffled and missing out on Epcot's extra evening hours.
Oh.
Is the only way to avoid that possibility by booking the party for the last night of our Riverside stay, aka when we won't have a deluxe resort date. So would that be a good way to avoid?
Yeah, that's a good strategy. I mean, it seems like you found that out. It seems like you've figured out like a way to sort of work around it. Oh my gosh, Ricky, it sounds like there's like a rocking chair squeaking. That is really the only way to avoid it. The party tickets, once they're purchased.
Yep, you're locked in.
They just are. You're locked in for that. So yeah.
I like that too. I like the Halloween party at the very end of the trip because it gives you that, otherwise you're like sad the trip's coming to the end. You got the one big thing I like to have one thing at the end of the trip to look forward to the entire trip.
Plus, go big or go home at that point, right?
Yeah, go big and then go home. It's like you gotta go home to go big first. I mean, yeah, you gotta do both. And she says, see, we have also never park hopped. She says, mind boggling. I know. Do you 3 think it would be best to make that a game time decision, depending on how the kids are holding up, and add on a day of hopping at the park? This is our first trip without a stroller for them to rest in. So I'm a little worried about how they'll hold up. Love your show. And all the 3 of you do. Our trips wouldn't go smoothly without all the BOGP advice. Started listening before our first family trip in December of 2019. And we're still addicted. Thanks so much, Allie. Well, Allie, there's a program for that, so don't be addicted too much. Take short breaks and go for walks and take the AirPods out. No, thanks for listening. We appreciate that very much. And well, the thing about park hopping is, and I don't, if you've never done it, maybe you didn't realize this, but it's an all or nothing proposition. You got to have it on your tickets for all the days or none of the days. So you can't just park hop for one of the days. It is very, very convenient to have. I know it's an extra cost, but here's over the Magic for Less. This is kind of the biggest selling point at this point. You mentioned park reservations. This is why I like to have the park hopper. It will get you in any park you like after 2:00. It's a way to get into a sold out park. Now, of course, that park could close for park hopping, but we have not seen this except for a very minute time, one single day since park hopping resumed over a year ago. So at this point, it's almost a guarantee that you can get in any park you like anytime after 2:00. You don't have to worry about theme park reservations at that point. As long as you check into your original park, and then after 2:00, you're golden. So that's why I like, sometimes I couldn't get into like the studios, but I could get into Epcot. I go to Epcot that morning, come back, get lunch at the hotel. Then at 2:00, I go to the studios and enjoy a whole rest of the day at the studios and have a blast. So that's, Pam, that's to me, the park hopping gives you the ultimate. I used to say it gave me the flexibility for dining. When I book dining, I don't have to worry about like where I'm going to be because I can go anywhere. But I think that's it's probably a number one at this point. The dining's probably a like 2 right now.
I will tell you, I cannot go to Walt Disney World without park hopping. It is absolutely not possible. And I think the three of us all feel the same in that space. I just have no desire to not be there with park hopping. The park reservation is absolutely one of the reasons. Let's just say, I've explained this as travel agents. We are the worst agents for our own trip. We're horrible at it. I will not tell you how many times I've arrived at the airport and realized, oh, shoot, I'm going to be at Disney World in 2.5 hours. I have no park reservation. Like literally, I haven't made my own park reservations. And I make them there sitting at wherever. And I do make them for whatever park I can go to. Then we go to that park and then we end up going to a different park. But even if I have made park reservations, I don't know if I have like a short attention span or what. But like I'm like 4 hours in a park and I'm like, oh, I'm so ready to go to another park, right? I don't know what it is, but there's always so many things I want to do. And after 2:00, I could hop to each of the 4 parks if I wanted to. That's the cool thing about it. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like park hopping takes time away from my day. I know that there is that argument. For me, the transportation in between parks is sort of an opportunity for me to think about what I want to do next, sort of decompress and prepare for the next park. Like there's transportation at Disney that is really literally so fun. The Skyliner being one of those things. And if I'm riding the Skyliner in between Hollywood Studios and Epcot, that's not taking away time from my day. That's enhancing my day. But even some of the other transportation options, even if we're driving in between the two, it's like you sort of get to start it over. It's like I have jammed 2 park days into one actual day. And how often do you get time back like that? So I love it.
Right. Variety is the spice of life. So yeah. I mean, if you never tried it, I mean, I think it's something once you try it, you don't go back a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that was so nice. So and give it a shot. So I would say to do that. So thanks, Allie, for that. Thanks for all the great questions. Don't forget, we record these shows on Mondays, usually around 5:45 Eastern. We'd love to have you here next Monday. We record on Facebook and YouTube Live, so come on over, ask your questions, and be a part of the show. But that's going to wrap it up for today's podcast. Our shows are always brought to you by the great folks over at the Magic for Less Travel, where all the team is standing by right now to help you plan an amazing Disney vacation, whether it's to Walt Disney World. Remember, you can book those Walt Disney World vacations for 2023. Finally, everybody's been asking, when's 2023 going to be available? Well, most of the year is available at this point. Of course, it's $499. Are you out of your mind? We talked about that on Sunday night. We can't remember the commercial, but 499 days from today. So we can't quite reach Christmas 2023, but almost all the rest of the year is available for 2023. Still booking 2022. Not too late to have those great vacations. Disney Cruise Line, Disneyland, Adventures by Disney. It's all there. We want to help you plan a great trip. So thing to do today. It's hot. You need to stay in the air. You need to stay where it's cool. You know, it's a cool website, themagicforless.com. All the trip planning tools right there. Check out the resort guides. They have pictures. Nothing's better than pictures. Room layouts, all that stuff. Compare, contrast, do all the resorts, make a Venn diagram, whatever you like to do. And then once you're there, fill out the free no obligation quote form. An agent will be back to you right away with some availability, some pricing, and we'll go from there. And the best part about this is, you know, we're helping Dennis spend his money earlier.
Yeah.
Our services absolutely free to you. Cost you nothing extra. We're always hunting for those discounts too, which can actually save you money in the long run. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. It's one extra click that really helps us out. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And finally, thank you to our patrons who allow us to put this show out 3 to 4 times a week all around the world. Could not do this without you. And our patrons get that bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. Come on over and enjoy it. It's bonus content. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give us a follow on the social media. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS on Instagram and Twitter. Follow Pam at TMFLT Pam. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike on those same places. And of course, subscribe to the show on Facebook and YouTube to search for the Be Our Guest Podcast and join us this Sunday night, live show, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, YouTube and Facebook. You can call in and be a part of the show. All right, we're going to be back again on Friday with more fun Disney talk for your ears to keep you entertained and to keep Allie addicted to our podcast. So until we get back together again, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good. Let me say that one. Wrong. So let's do what percentage of guests. I like that one.
Okay.
Odds makers, they got to think too hard, like off the top of your head. 2103. Dude, I'm so hungry. The heat's making me need Taco Bell so bad.
I mean, you're going to need Taco Bell anyway, so let's not pretend. Yeah.
Nope, that's not it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is that?
Crickets.
Wow. What?
I'm so confused.
I have 2 pads here. Hang on.
All of this is way too much.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
There
it is.
That's funny.
All that work.
For that.
Yeah, all that work for that. Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Good job.
Okay, here we go. What percentage of guess? Father Day edition. Here we go. 2105. Holy smoly. Hey, Lisa. Here we go. Lisa says she'd be here, and she is. I was waiting. Okay.
Nice.
You are marked off the attendance list.
Chef.
Remember, I still got teacher in my blood. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2105 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you, and I'm going to officially make it the entire weekend. Happy Father's Day weekend to all the Disney dads out there. That's right. Rock your Disney Cruise Line Mickey shirts all weekend. Whatever you want to rock. You want to rock the captain's hat. You want to listen to yacht rock. You want to do what you want to do. You want to ride the tractor with a Coke Zero and cut the grass. It's hot. Don't do that. It's too hot. Lay in the hammock. But if you want to do that next weekend, be my guest. But have a great Father's Day to all the Disney dads out there. We love having you a part of our audience. It's a lot of fun. And enjoy the ties and the gift cards to Taco Bell. That's what'll be headed your way. So today, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have one of those fun shows to keep you busy. We're going to talk about what percentage of guests blank are doing stuff at the Disney destinations. So joining me today for this audio journey, not really an audio journey, it's a podcast. We have Ricky. She's down still in Hotlanta. She's at themouseforless.com. Ricky, happy Friday. What'd you get, Rick?
Actually, okay, so I did.
You didn't give anything, did you?
No, I did. We got tickets. So they are coming to Atlanta for the 4th of July. So we got tickets for the Braves Cardinals game. So I'm going to go see the Cardinals play here soon, which makes me very excited. So
You need to, you, Donna, and Rick, you have to. Well, first of all, one of you needs to somehow get into the Beat the Freeze contest.
yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. And if it was anybody, it would be Brian, and he's not going to make it.
Brian would be awesome. I would love to see. I would pay you $100 if you could get Brian to be on the field racing the freeze. That would be.
Oh, he would lose so hard. I mean, so hard. But anyway, continue.
Brian would wear like a skin suit like that. He would just wear a different color.
He probably would.
Totally. But Rick racing the freeze would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, I don't think that would be so good for the man who just had a heart attack. But whatever, it's fine.
I'm not asking him to do 26.2. I mean, it's just from one pole to the other. I forgot about that. Yeah,
that's all right. That's all right. It was a good thought. Good thought. Yeah.
Maybe you should race the freeze. Okay, so anyway, but what you need to do though, you four actually got to start the Yachty chant at Truist. If I don't hear like a Yachty.
I mean, it is an interesting experience going to a Braves Cardinals game because there are a lot of Cardinals fans here in Atlanta, and they all come. Yes, there should be, and they all come out to watch the Cardinals Braves games. So we sit on the third base side and we cheer for the Cardinals. And it's funny because you will see just a sea of Cardinal shirts. I mean, that's what you will see on the third base side. It's just all Cardinal shirts because they're all excited because the Cardinals are there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Be bigger this year because the last trip for Yachty and
exactly,
Albert
which is partially why we're going. I mean, we would have gone anyway to see because we always go see the Cardinals play the Braves. But it's going to be a bittersweet. I thought last year was my last year for Yachty, so I'm super happy that I at least get one more year with him. So. That's good. Yep.
Let's hope he doesn't stay healthy, Yachty.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We got to keep him okay.
You'll have tickets. Got to keep him healthy. All right. Also joining us, we're heading up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with Pam Forrester. Pam, how's it going? What are you guys doing for Father's Day weekend? Anything special?
I don't know. Good question. Just, I think we have a few things planned. Don't want to talk about the gift thing here. Yeah, and my two dads, I'm one of the lucky people. I think
that was a TV show.
Two dads, right? It was not me. But yeah, I do. My dad and my stepdad, hopefully they have a good day, and then Steve as well, because he is a good dad. So yeah, we'll be trying to take care of them all on Father's Day.
Yeah, we have fun. We have really, really good dads in our podcast family and our podcast audience. I mean, like we've cruised with so many people. We've met so many people at the Disney parks, and we've been very lucky to have so many, folks that are just great dads in our audience. Like it's so cool to see the interaction with the kids. And I mean, it's crazy because like I said on Wednesday, we've been doing this show. It'll be 15 years next spring. And like, a lot of us were, not really dads when this all started. And, we've gone through the whole gamut at this point, almost grown kids. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Anyway. All right. Well, let's hit today's topic. We're just going to do a fun one because it's a fun weekend. And we're going to do one we've done before. What percentage of guess blank, blank, blank? And just talk about and propose, and we can carry this over to Sunday night and just talk about like what percentage of guess we think something is true for, and then we'll have the debate as to what we think. And we can carry this over on social media because sometimes we get wild answers in the live chat. So if you're in the live chat, please put in your answers and we'll share those here on the show as well. So I will start.
Wait. Sorry. Okay. I have to stop you. Remember there used to be a game show where the host would be like, what percentage of guess blank when they're doing the blank? Remember? And then you had to fill in.
I think that was the match game.
Was it really?
I think it
was. Was it the one where they were in all the squares?
No, that was Hollywood Squares.
That was Hollywood Squares.
Was Hollywood Squares? Did they do blank when you?
And there was always an inappropriate comment.
Yes, and that was like yes, it was like subtlety. But like what? I'm like, as Mike's saying that, what percentage of guess?
Yeah,
blank when they're at Epcot.
I'm certain it's match game.
Yeah, that was Gene Rayburn with the legendary tall microphone, which I tried to emulate on the podcast career with the leisure suit in 2019 on the Fantasy and the Tube. And so funny enough though, I listened to a podcast. It's called The Tech Guy, and it's a call-in show for 3 hours on Saturdays. I listen to the podcast on a replay on the treadmill. And the last segment on that show is a segment called the Gizwiz. And it's hosted by, it's a special guest. He's called Dick DiBartolo. And he's the guy who wrote the questions for the match game. Those exact questions. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he's like almost 90 now. Right.
That's
and he
amazing.
calls in, he always says all these little gadgets he finds on Amazon and stuff. But yeah, he's still got it, man. He is still hilarious with like the, because it's always like innuendo.
Right.
Yeah. It was always innuendo.
50% of guests blank at Epcot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I believe 50% of people blanked in the American Gardens Theater.
Yes, 80% of guests blanked on Ellen's energy adventure. All right, we have to do this as a game.
This is going to become a Patreon episode.
It's
Really,
not gonna go well. Yeah, exactly. This is the Disney After Dark game. Yeah.
totally. We are
Okay.
not even.
All right, so we'll go back to our PG friendly.
Hang on, let me look behind Spaceship Earth. It is still light outside.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Okay,
Sun's
good.
still out here too. So,
All right,
yeah.
so back on topic, Pam. Thank you very much for that
I
fun
love it.
laugh and for
That's
totally
amazing.
derailing this whole.
love
Yes,
it.
I think that's my job here, right?
Yeah,
To
well,
derail
yeah.
stuff.
It's either me or you, Pam. It's either me or you. One of the two of us. Yes.
What you've really done is made the rest of the show very boring compared to what
Yeah, I
you
know.
wanted
We've
to.
totally screwed this up.
So anyway, okay, so here we go. What percentage of guests? So here, I don't even know if I asked this one before, but what percentage of guests do you think? I'm trying to think. Okay, so I'm curious about this. Go in the Coke store at Disney
Oh.
Springs.
Oh.
Now I'm talking about like people that go to only people that go to Disney Springs itself. So not like overall guests at Walt Disney World, but people that are at Disney Springs. What percentage of guests do you think go in the Coke store? Ricky, what would you say? Because now you should have a hot take because you're like in Coke Central.
Yeah,
down there
I'm in Coke
Atlanta.
Central. Yeah.
You might be a little skewed on your information.
No,
might have
you know
a little
what?
insight.
Honestly, I don't know that it's probably that many. Because I think most people think it's just a store and they don't realize that there's a lot more to it.
You got the bear.
Yeah. You know what? That was something I was thinking about. I'm wondering if you can still meet the bear.
You
I haven't
can.
heard
I thought somebody
anything
posted-
about it
no,
since
he's-
COVID.
He's back.
Is
I
he
think.
back?
I think I saw somebody posted, unless they were lying, but I think he's back.
All right. That's good. That's
He
good.
does
Is the
have a-
bear a draw, you think? You think
I
the
mean,
bear's
if
a
you knew,
draw?
look, if you knew that the bear was in there,
I like the
that's what
bear.
I'm saying. Like, if you knew that the bear was there, that they had the rooftop bar at the top with all the different kinds of Coke
That's
that you
what
could
I'm saying.
try.
It's
Like,
pretty cool
I
little
don't
place.
think that most people know a lot of that are walking past the world of, that building. I think they just think it's a store that has Coca-Cola merchandise. So I think it's skewed if you know that they have those things in it.
You just got to give a percentage.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, okay, sorry,
We
this
can't,
show-
we can't have a 45-minute explanation.
I'm trying to cheat here, dang it. Okay.
We can't break into subgroups.
Dang. Okay. I honestly, I think probably about maybe 17%. I'm gonna go with a weird number.
You got 17, Pam. What do you say?
I was saying definitely 25% or less.
Okay, I was gonna go with 10% because here's my thing. I think most guests, I think World of Disney probably gets 40% of the people who go to Disney Springs.
Wait, you think
No,
World of Disney only gets
higher.
40%?
Higher.
No.
Like,
No.
Hear me
higher.
out.
Higher.
That's why I
Another
wanna have
game
the show.
show.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Here's why I want to have the show. Let me just say my piece. I think, given any single like trip, okay, World of Disney, we all agree, right, is probably the number one draw for Disney.
Well,
Springs,
yeah, of
right? Like,
course.
that's the store that most people are going to go to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any other store, World of Disney is it. Okay, so, and I still think it's 40% at the high end for any given time for all the people there. Because here's the deal. I think over half of the people go there and don't shop. I think half of the people go there to go dine. I think half the people go to wander and maybe just go to other stores and don't go into Disney or World of Disney because it's a lot of trouble. So I would say a Coke store. Take a store. Okay, here's the extreme. Take a store like Fabletics or some really niche store, like one of those crazy like jewelry stores, like that I am never, ever going to go in. I mean, there's so many of those stores that probably less than 1% of people
I would agree with
ever
that.
go in, which you got to, and I always think about this, like, what's the rent?
Yeah, right. I mean, how much
work?
jewelry
Like,
are
how
you
do they
selling
make
in
it
there
work?
to
I know,
make
like,
it? Yeah.
how does this work? I always wonder that with these places I've never heard of that have, like right there in like center town, or
Yeah.
town square, with these places. But, getting back to my question, I like thinking about this stuff when I'm walking through Disney Springs. I would say Coke store, God, less than 10%. And I would say Disney Spring or World of Disney, less than 40. Okay, so okay, so what would you say for any time? Because think about that. I don't go there every trip because sometimes I go there to eat. Sometimes I just go there to go to Splitsville. I mean, and I'll go, I don't go there every time I go there.
9 times out of 10, though, we walk through.
Yeah, exactly.
If nothing else, we just like buzz through. In fact, I think my family has said probably no less than 100 times, let's buzz through the Disney store. We're here.
Yeah.
And it's right there near the parking lots too, like so many of them. So,
okay. So what would you say, Pam, for World of Disney while we're on this topic? Because it's kind of a secondary thing.
I'm saying 75%.
Okay. What about you, Ricky? You're right there.
I'm pretty close. 75, 80%. Yeah. I think
we were playing Card Sharks with you earlier too.
Yes, that was it. Card Sharks. Yes.
Yes.
I feel like the majority of people are going into Disney Springs for, are going into the World of Disney who go to Disney Springs because that's the main draw.
It is the main draw. I get that. Especially for the casuals. Like,
I agree with Pam.
People just go just to eat.
But I'm still buzzing through the World of Disney store. Like, it's that or Marketplace Co-op because I want to see what dresses they have. Like, I mean, I'm going through one of those two stores or both. So, to see kind of what merch they have. So I think you're way off. I think it's definitely close to 75, 80% for sure. Yeah.
Okay. I wish I knew these numbers because I don't think I'm that far off. I really don't think I'm that far off. But I mean, I could be. I could totally be totally off. But I think that especially locals that probably go through there and just don't want to deal with it. Because I mean, like World of Disney is a lot, especially on a Friday night.
No,
it's busy. I mean, you're at Walt Disney World. If you're a vacationer, that's why you're there. Like
all
that's
Disney Springs is busy on a Friday or Saturday night. It's not just
it's all a lot. All right, Ricky, give us your situation. That was kind of fun to talk about. Okay, so give us something.
All right. So I want to know because so much talk has been about the Disney dining plan and everything like that, and how much people are missing it, and I absolutely get that. But, back in the day with the Disney dining plan, you would get the refillable mug, and the refillable mug would be a part of your package, right? Well, of course, now there's no Disney dining plan, so people aren't automatically getting that refillable mug. So I want to know what percentage you think of people are still getting the refillable mug, even though it's not included in the Disney dining plan right now.
So I think we've done this one before.
Did we?
And I would say, yeah, I'm pretty sure we've had this question. I would go about 30%.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. This might have been when I wasn't on, so that's why I'm going with it. Yeah. Okay.
Just from like observation.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Pam, what do you think?
And now I would say 30% is on the high end.
Okay.
Gosh, I was going to go a little higher than that just because I see so many people with the dang refillable mugs, I will say. Like, you see them by the pool, you see people have them hooked to their backpacks, all of that. So I probably would go 38%.
Oh, I like that. Okay, that's good. All right. So then kind of tying into that then, since I obviously I don't listen to our show. We asked the question then about what percentage do you think would get the refillable popcorn bucket? So not the ones that are, like the Figment one or, whatever,
right.
but like the actual, like, general refillable popcorn bucket that they sell in the parks. That's just the plastic one, the white one.
That one I think is going to be
lower.
Yeah, I agree.
I think people are not as aware. Well, for one, I think people are more into getting, I think it's more of a common thing to want the refills for beverages, because like Americans are just used to getting refills on beverages. So if you can get that mug, and it's a really cool souvenir.
Yeah.
I think people aren't as aware to get the bucket, the refillable bucket. And it's kind of we get them because, it's a good value if you're going to be there for 5, 6, 7 days and we eat the popcorn, but it is kind of a hassle to remember it and haul it around for the week. It's more of a hassle than a mug.
No, it is. It is. But I see a lot of people do the smart thing and they actually attach it to their book bag. So, and they unhook it and then attach the handle around whatever bag they have. Yeah. I see it around a lot of lounge fly bags, around book bags, a lot of, purses. So I do see a lot of people carrying them that way. So, that's kind of why I was curious as to, you probably don't see as much, but I do see quite a few people who are carrying around the popcorn buckets. So
for me, I will tell you, I've never bought a refillable popcorn bucket. Number one reason why my family will absolutely never, ever bring this into the parks. Yeah, never. It's not happening. Nobody wants to carry it. Nobody wants to be responsible for it. We would just Steve would be like, how much money am I going to save? And I'd be like, well, you would save like $5 each time. He'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. We're just $5. It's like, I will give you $20 to not have to carry that bucket around.
But we do it because and I like I'm a fan of the, I like all the specialty ones. Don't get me wrong. They're very cool, especially seasonal ones, but just the regular buckets will have like the theme of the year, or the time, they're kind of cool too. So I like those, but we do them. Because, if I can save $5, I will, and I'll haul it around. It's just, we always tend to forget it. Like we just we left it in the room, because we're just heading to the bus. Yeah. And I'm like, I forgot the popcorn bucket. Oh, well, forget it. We're not getting just, that happens like half the trip. So, all right. So here is my next one. So
wait, did Pam ask one?
No. Did you?
No.
Okay, Pam.
But
go
it's
ahead.
fine. I was throwing in old game show games and stuff like that. This is what I was focused on.
You're so right about Card Sharks, though, because I think on Card Sharks, they made the people give a comment that was sometimes totally, they were just stretching to try to say something.
Yeah.
Why they said higher or lower on the cards. I used to love that because I used to watch it with Bob Eubanks on the.
Higher, Mike, higher. I'm going higher than that.
Going higher, Bob. It's a king.
Lower, Mike, lower.
You're going higher on a king? Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, give us your, sorry.
It's all right. Okay, so here's one that I've been thinking about just because as I've looked at the stuff that our agency's been booking and things that people are interested in for 2023, what percentage of guests do you think try a concierge stay at a Disney resort? I think it's interesting because we actually see it go through sort of waves. It's really interesting. Yeah, it is. It's like first we have people who don't know anything about it and whatnot, and then it just sort of ripples through the Disney community per se. People are like, I stayed at Concierge and we got free breakfast every morning. Then there were snacks in the afternoon. In the evening, there were hot appetizers and drinks. It was awesome, blah, blah, blah. And we hear the same things coming from a few different people. So anyways, that's what I'm wondering. What percentage of people do you think have tried?
Overall, people going
overall, yeah. I don't think at any one time, but just say have ever. Let's say have ever, because I feel like it's for a lot of people, they don't do it all the time, but they do it some of the time.
Because I have numbers. Because I see it right with my bookings,
right.
But
Mine gets to cheat.
If I had to guess, I would say it's between 5 and 7%. And I think the reasoning why is it's a lot of the factors you just said, Pam. One is some people just, they just don't look at it because it's an extra expense, but it's also I've done it one time at the beach club and it was so fun. We loved it. It was so cool. It was the last night of a trip. Our APs had expired, so we couldn't go to the parks. And we were at beach club. We had Storm Along Bay, but we had the club level room and we had all Mallory ate so much taffy. I'm surprised she still has teeth. There was taffy on the concierge guy's desk. And we ate it up in the lounge, the little cordials and the drinks and the little snacks. We had so much fun with it. We felt like rock. They told us actually Aerosmith stayed in our room. Steven Tyler, that could have been fake, I don't know, fake news or whatever. But I mean, we did have the room right in the dead center, so probably. But yeah, we loved it and it was fun. But I think a lot of folks that, for me forever, I just felt like I shouldn't be staying in concierge because like I'm so blue collar. Like that's just something that's beyond me. And it's like if I go up there, I won't know what's going on. I'm like, it's like for Thurston Howell or something, sir. And they kick me out.
Love
like,
it.
I used to feel that way about the Grand Floridian though too. I think it's just you got to get accustomed to things. So I'd say 5 to 7. Ricky, what about you?
Maybe 10. I do feel like it's a low number. Like if we're talking about like all time, then yeah, probably a little higher than what you think. But I think, in like a year, then yeah, probably 5 to 7. But like all time, I think maybe 10%. I think a lot of people also like once you've done it, like you try to do it over and over again. So like if you're counting like unique visitors, then that number is probably less too. But if you're counting like people who keep repeating, that number is probably a little higher. So yeah, I think probably 10 or so. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Pam?
I was really hovering around that like 12% mark, like 12 to 15%. I think it's a great way to sort of plus up a celebration trip or a revenge travel trip, right?
It's real.
Right? It is, right? I just think because there's awesome benefits and you can always have the cost versus value debate. I think that's a real thing, especially as we saw the lounges, go back to sort of their pre-pandemic offerings. So I think that there's that, but I just think it's a cool thing. And I know it's an added expense. So that's what keeps my percentage down a little lower.
Good question. Yeah. It's so funny. Cause like, I'm always wondering these kind of things, like when I'm walking around, what's the overall, like, how do the numbers fall? And here's another one. So let me ask you this one, because we all fall different on this one. What percentage of guests on property, so all the hotels, just everybody at the theme parks in general, anybody that's on property at any given point, what percentage of guests got there via airplane? I've always wondered that because back when I used to not fly, I wanted to know this number because I always thought about, there's so many people here and every one of these people safely got here on an airplane. Some people from other continents. Like, Mike, why just get on an airplane instead of being miserable in a car for 15 hours? Literally, that's kind of how I would talk to myself. Like, get over it. There's thousands and thousands of people here having a good time. They got here on airplanes. They're going to get on an airplane and go home, and it's going to be fine. So I always did ask myself this question. So what percentage, Ricky, do you think, because you're on the opposite and you always drive because you're in Georgia. What percentage of people do you think any given point got there via airplane? Because now, I mean, people are probably maybe changing because of gas prices and
true.
I mean, flights are.
Yeah, who knows which way is cheaper? Yeah, flying or driving. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm gonna say, yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna say probably about 70% have gotten there from an airplane. I don't know if I'm too low, but I feel like that. Yeah. What you think I'm high? It should be higher.
I don't know. It's just okay. Go keep.
Well, okay, because like there's a lot of people from the southeast who drive down because it doesn't make sense.
Florida,
yeah, exactly.
Carolinas.
Exactly. So like, I think once you hit that like that 10-hour mark potentially, like that's like the limit for most people on driving. So I feel like that's a small amount of people who who do drive. I mean, yes, there are people who drive obviously that come from a lot longer, but I think like that's usually people's stopping point, to try to make it in one day. So yeah, I think a majority of people fly, honestly. So I think 70% is probably pretty good, actually, to be honest. Yeah.
What do you think, Pam? Because I really don't. I mean, I've thought about this, and I don't. I kind of go back and forth. What do you think, Pam?
I was thinking like 55%.
Okay.
Because I feel like you have the local scene.
True.
You have the people who are within driving distance, and then the people who don't like to fly and are way too far away to drive, but do it anyways, like Mike used to.
Mike used to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was sort of my percentage. I don't know, Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I would guess kind of right in between you guys. I would probably go maybe 60% because when you look around, because one of the things I love about running at Walt Disney World is like I love just going through the parking lots and seeing all the license plates from all over the place, and it's funny. You'll see, I mean, like I've seen, like Washington State. I'm like, oh my gosh, you get like Washington State. Are you kidding me? How did you drive across the country? I mean, you could not be further away. But it's so cool. But you see a lot of like Alabama, Mississippi, you still see Missouri, Arkansas, you see a lot of Illinois. And I mean, like Ricky said, I mean, that's an extensive 1-day trip. I mean, that's a long drive, but you see everybody else kind of from that corner, southeast in. Yeah. And you do have people that I mean, fear of flying is a real thing for a lot of people. I mean, it was for me forever. And, also people just like to have their car when they're there, and it's just, that's, you don't have to deal with the hassle of renting a car. If you drive, your car's there and you have your own car. You got your own car seats, stuff like that. So I don't know. I want to hear what our listeners say on social media though, because especially on that one, because I've always been curious. I wish I could know, like at a given time, what the percentage is. All right, Ricky, give us another one. What do you think?
Okay. What percentage of people do you think during the time period that is offered, do you think attend Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party?
So so everybody's there, there's a Halloween party going on during their stay, the overall stay, do they go to a party? Okay.
Yes. All right, Mike, what do you think?
4%.
Really?
Because I mean, if you think about how many people there are on property, there's so many people. And I mean, even though they sell quite a few tickets, if you just look at the numbers, it's probably, I mean, if 4% of everybody on property is probably more, that's probably high, I would say, like as far as the numbers. Because it's still an exclusive event for like one park and it's not sold out. Pam, what do you think? Is that too low?
I was seriously thinking like 30%.
Really?
And the reason, let me just say,
I was thinking much higher.
Think about it. Like most people stay like a week, right?
Right.
And during the time that they're there, it's probably going to be offered 3 times.
Yeah.
And you're going to have overlap and stuff like that. But I think that a lot of people really go there specifically
for the party,
to attend there. So 30% may be a little high, but I was thinking between 25 and 30% was really it. We have so many guests who are regular Walt Disney World travelers and go down specifically to do the party events. So even if it's just like a quick, like long weekend trip or something, they're like, I've gone every year since blah, 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 and I'm not going to miss a year. So anyways.
It is true. It's a draw. So Ricky, where would you put yours?
Yeah, I was thinking closer to what Pam was saying, like that 25% or so is probably going to the party. It's just such a huge draw. I mean, it's such a fun event. And, I think that a lot of people who are going during that time period are going for, to experience some sort of the Halloween fun. So I feel like about 25% is probably pretty good. So maybe higher, but
I mean, because you have both extremes though, right? You have like Pam who says, and I agree, a lot of people go down for the party. Like, okay, we've done this every year. This is our thing. We're going to dress up. We're going to trick or treat. We're going to have a blast, which is we've all done that. But I think also you got the other extreme, which is a huge group of people that don't even know the Halloween party's going on. And a lot of times by the time they go, the tickets are sold out, so they can't go even if they wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You definitely have the people who have no idea that there's a Halloween party. I mean, 100%. Oh, wait, there's a Halloween party. But I still feel like a lot of people are going to experience it. So I'm still saying I'm saying about 25%. Yeah.
All right, Pam. Give us one. We're gonna go this one, and then we're gonna go one speed round after this.
Okay. All right. So, what percentage of people do you think that flew in get a town car or a private car transfer as opposed to using one of the shuttle services or one of the rideshare services? So arrange in advance some kind of private car transportation.
What percentage of guests? Okay, so basically have pre-planned their ground transportation between
Yes.
MCO and Walt Disney World. Basically.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Ricky, what do you think?
I think it's probably about, I don't know if I'm too low on this, but I feel like it's probably about 40% maybe, because I feel like most people are, if are coming down, are probably gonna do like an Uber. I feel like if you've got a family or things like that, those small children who need a car seat or whatever, I feel like those people are more apt to do the town car type thing. But I feel like a lot of people are comfortable with Uber and how Lyft and how both those work and things like that, that I feel like a majority of them are probably going, yeah, I'll just Uber over when I get to get on in Orlando and take it that way. So
yeah, I would kind of follow up with that. Corin of Amber saying 5%, Rhonda Lee is saying 20 to 25%, Alfred saying 8%. I would go about 45% would pre-plan and have something booked ahead of time. I would say that's going to be your families, mostly. And the thing is, if you think about how the Disney fan that listens to our podcast at least skews, they're planners and they like to have a plan in place for a lot of things. And if you've been a fan of Magical Express, you're going to want to have that step taken care of.
Mhm.
You're going to do that pre-trip. However, you have your like single travelers and you also have travelers that are more from like urban areas who are comfortable with ride shares. And, like I use a ride share now with my family. I'll just hop in an Uber and just go. I don't pre-plan. Because I'm comfortable with that, but it's your comfort level. So I'd say this one's almost like a 50-50 proposition, but I would say a little bit less because it does take a little bit more work at this point. So I go 45% pre-plan. So Pam, where would you fall on that?
Yeah, I was hanging right at about 35%. I think a lot of people get there and sort of wing it. I think that there's another group of folks who take one of the shuttle services offered, and that's not private transportation. And then I think that you have the percentage of people who rent cars. And so I wouldn't consider that part. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
there's that. Yeah.
that's it. But I think we're seeing more and more now. I think at first there was a lot of people who were like, didn't know that there wasn't Magical Express anymore, or we're sort of used to that. So we sort of kind of had to ease them into that, right? And think about transportation in a different way. And that's where I sort of land on that.
All right. Here's my last one. Speed question. Okay. So we have the Magic Band Pluses imminently coming out. Actually, I have a hot little one in my backpack because they had the mistake. Ricky's like, go get a picture. And so I bought one in the 5 minutes they were available. Speaking of World of Disney, right place at the right time. That Sunday morning when I was trying to eat my breakfast, Earl the sandwich back in May. So I have that. So these things are going to be on sale. But here's my question. Say a year from now. So let's look at, mid to late June 2023. What percentage of guests will have a Magic Band Plus on their wrist a year from now? Like, so not just a Magic Band, but they have gone the extra step and they have upgraded to a Magic Band Plus. I will say, here's the one thing to remember. I thought the price point they were going to come in was about $100. That was what I was hearing the rumor at first. And I bought mine for $29.95, $25 with an AP discount. So
yeah, I think you might have got yours cheaper than you were supposed to, but
it was a plain one. It wasn't decorated or anything. It was just a blue one.
That's true.
It was just a plain old blue one, but it is a Magic Band Plus. So it wasn't as expensive. It wasn't, because at $100, I'm not doing it. Like, but when she told me it was 25 with an AP discount, boom, I put it in my cart. I bought it. So I wouldn't have done it otherwise. So that's just something to think about. So 1 year from now, what percentage of guests walking around the parks, Ricky, do you think will have a Magic Band Plus on? Because we're kind of seeing some of these like statues doing stuff. There's going to be interactive things happening.
I think it's going to depend on if they still sell regular Magic Bands. If they still sell regular Magic Bands, I think it's probably going to be pretty low. I think it's probably going to be about 5 to 10% maybe. If they stop selling regular Magic Bands altogether and they only sell Magic Band Plus, then I think you might see that number go up to about maybe 15 to 20%. It's just going to depend on, on that, because I don't think that a lot of people are going to, unless they just really start wowing with the features of Magic Band Plus. I mean, there's really no reason to get a Magic Band Plus at this point. Like, I mean, yeah, it's cool. You can do some cool things with the statues or whatever, they light up or whatever, do different things. Or, I think that there's some cool things that you can do in Galaxy's Edge, which for me, I really don't care about. I could care less about the Galaxy's Edge, like, bonus stuff. So for me, I'm not buying one just for that. So I don't know. I'm not super excited about Magic Band Plus. It's really going to have to wow me for me to want to get one, so I have plenty of Magic Bands and they work. So I'm not going to get a Magic Band Plus unless it's just like, whoa. So, and I'm not there yet. So I think it's probably going to be pretty low. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold that, because I have a counterpoint to that.
Okay. All right.
What about you? What about you on that?
I'm gonna say about 25% of people will have the new Magic Bands. And I think some of the reasons are, you have that percentage of guests who are staying off site, and it's really not going to be that beneficial for them to have a Magic Band. And I don't know that parents will be as willing to buy these Magic Bands, because they're going to have a lot more functionality. And even if they aren't that much more price, I think that a lot of parents are like, yeah, he's going to ruin that. Like,
exactly. Like, he's going to lose it in 5 minutes. I'm not like paying that much money for that.
So yeah, that's why I sort of hung around 25%.
Well, see, I think Magic Bands in general are on their way out. I mean, they've had their peak and they're just going to go away. It's going to be a slow death, right? Because you can do everything on your phone. You can do everything on your Apple Watch at this point almost. So, and I'm for that. Like, I don't want to have to take anything extra. So if I can do everything on my Apple Watch, great. That's perfect for me. However, I think that there's going to be a little FOMO if they do add a lot of interactive things that people see people doing, waving their hand and stuff's happening. There'll be people buying them and wearing them around the parks, especially the uber Disney fans. So they're kind of fun. They're a toy. And also it's a souvenir that's at a decent price point. One of the negatives is it has to be charged. I mean, it's another device that you got to babysit and you got to charge. But on the plus side, it is Alexa enabled. So it's going to do some stuff with that, which I don't know exactly what that means, but it says it on the box. But, I'm a tech geek, so I bought it and I want to see what it does. And I think there's gonna be a lot of people that kind of falls in. Now, again, it's buying it and wearing it is two separate things, right? You might buy it and wear it like two times and be like, it was kind of cool. I mean, how many of those things do we have in our life? Like, we bought it, it was going to be like great. And then, I get like that first PDA you bought, like the Palm Pilot or something. Like, it was awesome, but then like you're sinking it and it's like, it's just a hassle. It was just more work than it was worth. So if I had to pick a number, I'd say 15%, 20%, but we'll see. I mean, I think it'll be hot at first. And if they keep doing cool things with it, it'll stay up there. But I just think the Magic Band, like the curve on the Magic Band is on the way down.
I know, but look at how long it's taken to get us to this point.
Yeah, it has.
Right. And look at even like Pal Mickey, how long that stayed, because they did introduce a few more interactive things after we initially got it. Disney's good at that. I mean, I will literally, I'm going to buy one. As soon as I saw one, I knew I was going to buy one.
Same. I mean, but when it wasn't $100, because I do want to try it and I will wear it on my next trip and I will do all the stuff. But I mean, if it doesn't, once I do the things with the statues, I don't have to do that again. I'll do it once. But if they keep giving us new things, okay, yeah. But I mean, like they say it's going to do stuff during the fireworks. Remember? Hang on.
Remember Glow with the show ears?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I had these, but the thing was, here's the whole thing. Like, I wore these during the show and these things weighed like 29 pounds. They were super uncomfortable. But the thing was, you can't see your own ears on top of your head.
That's true.
it was way easier just to watch everybody else's ears
That's
and
true.
enjoy the show than to pay
Truth.
money to buy these things. Even
Yeah.
though, it's kind of cool technology, but it was one of those things I got suckered. Very
you
cool club inside them. They're so heavy. It
Yeah, they
kills
are.
you. Yeah. Anyway, okay, Ricky, give us one more. It's supposed to be a speed round. That was so slow.
All right, well, I'll be speedy then. So I'm gonna borrow this from the chat because I am curious about this. So especially since I see them all the time. What percentage of people do you think are walking around with one of those Loungefly backpacks? Because I see them everywhere in Disney.
Which are
And
those little small backpacks, right?
yeah, they're the
have
little
all the
small
themes.
ones that Disney's like partnered with Loungefly on that, that have different Disney, designs on them and, other things like that. So, Pam, what do you think? What do you think the percentage is?
I think probably, gosh, I feel like I've said this a lot today, but like 25% of the people I see have on those backpacks. And yeah, and that's just it. I won't go into a big explanation.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Mike, what do you think?
I say 10 because even though you
Really?
see a lot of them, but I mean, again, you don't notice the people that don't have them. First of all, you hardly see any men with them, so that's 50%.
I mean, I see men with them. I see men with them.
I've
Yeah.
never seen men with one.
I mean, yeah, I've definitely seen some men
Yeah,
with
I
them.
have too.
So I actually think it's a little higher. I think it's about 40% have a Loungefly backpack.
Yeah, expensive too.
Yeah, they're very expensive, but I'm telling you, like I see a lot of those walking around because I kind of pay attention, and yeah, there's a lot of people carrying a Loungefly backpack around the parks. I don't love them because I don't think that you can put like if I'm going to carry a backpack, I'm going to carry a real backpack. Like I don't feel like I can't fit much in those Loungefly backpacks.
They
I
don't
feel
look like they hold too much.
No.
Exactly. They look so teeny. I mean, they're cute, but they just look like
they're cute. Yeah,
like
exactly. But I'm just if I'm gonna carry a backpack, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna carry a real one. There's just not much I can fit inside that Loungefly thing. So I'm not too big on them. I actually don't even own one because I'm like I don't want to carry that around. So I find it more of a hassle anyway. So yeah, I think that I think it's probably about 40%, to be honest. So.
Lisa in the live chat says she has too many. Her husband gets on her because
I get that. Yeah.
Lisa is not enough. You never have too many. All right. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna be looking at all these things when we go down next time. Be like, how many? This is what we'll be playing at Disneyland too, because they have.
Yeah, you'll see them out there.
Yeah, close us out. What do you got?
All right. What percentage of people do you think have played on one of the mini golf courses? Right? I know it could be. If this one could be sort of tricky. All right, Mike, go
That's
with
interesting because if you got a package, you could actually do it for free.
Right? I know. That's what I was thinking.
Walt Disney World, but this is something for free. However, it takes effort because it's not easy to get to the two courses, especially from Fantasia Gardens. I would say, given all the people on property at any given point, 8% of the people have putted while they're
interesting.
Less than 10 because it takes effort, even though it's a lot of fun. Ricky,
all right, Ricky.
I think it's really low. I think it's probably like, honestly, I think it's like 3 to 5%. I think it's really low. The number of people.
Go with that too, because I mean, I've many times, and I love putt.
See, and I, being that a huge Disney fan that I am, I've never played putt. So, like, that's one thing I've never done. So, yeah. Now, ironically enough, I've done it at Universal. And the reason is because I had time to kill between a toothsome reservation, and I was there. So I'm like, okay, cool. We can go play putt. But again, it's a lot easier to do it at Universal because it's there. You're killing time, whatever. It's not efforts to get to it. It's just right there. Versus at Walt Disney World, you actually you're right, Mike. You have to get, in the car or get, some sort of transportation to get you over to it. And then do it. So I really think it's a very small amount that's done putt there. I think, yeah,
I agree.
3 to 5%.
I was gonna stay between like 5 and 8%. I think it is kind of low, but then I also think that you can't underestimate the power of including something in a package, right?
True, but I had
listen
those
it
too.
as a benefit, and there's a percentage of people who are absolutely not going to miss out on that
something
benefit.
free.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly. Yeah. for sure. So.
Do they still offer the free like souvenir at Planet Hollywood? That used to be the big. Remember, that used to be a package.
Oh my gosh! Right? No.
It's a like free souvenir at
I
Planet
don't
Hollywood.
think they do.
No.
That place was kind of cool in there. It was like going back to speaking of the 80s. I was like going back to the 80s. When we
It
had
was. It was. Yeah.
That was crazy. That was fun. The food wasn't great, but it was fun. It was very cool. All right. Well, hey, that is our game of what percentage of guests. And now jump on the social media and tell us where we were right, where we were wrong. And then this Sunday night, we can continue that on the live call-in show. So join us Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. You, me, and Scotty G will be taking your calls on YouTube and Facebook. So we hope you will join us then. That's it for today's show. So don't forget, as always, this podcast brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. The agents are standing by this happy Friday and this weekend to help you plan a great Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. All you need to do today, drop by themagicforless.com and fill out that free no obligation quote form. An agent will get back to you right away, and we'll be putting that together for you right now. So check them out over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That really does help us out. And a sincere thank you to our patrons who support this podcast each month. We could not do this without you, and our patrons get that bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. Come on over and join us, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give Ricky a follow on social media. She's at Ricky Nibs. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike on Instagram and Twitter. We'd all love to talk to you this weekend. And of course, look for the show on Facebook and YouTube to search for the Be Our Guest Podcast. If you don't mind this weekend, you have a few minutes, please leave us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. It would really help us out. That helps us get the word out about the show. We've been around forever. And sometimes some of those ratings and reviews go away after a period of time. And it's been a minute since some of you guys rated the show. And we thank you for that. But if you could just update that, we'd sure appreciate that very much. All right, we're getting out of here and wishing you an awesome weekend. Again, happy Father's Day to all the Disney dads out there. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back again on Monday with a fun Trip Report show. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom. There we go. Good stuff.
We did it.
Right. We did. That was fun.
Awesome. All right.
Yes. All
We'll
right.
see you later.
I'll see you guys later.
Right,
Bye.
105. See you guys later. That'd be a good idea for indoor mini golf. See you later, guys.